We're live. Hello, evening.
Evening.
As you can guess, that's not Tezza. Tezza is in bed with man flu.
Oh, poor Tez.
Poor Tezza. So I've drafted in Roseanne, who has thankfully stepped in to help me do the show tonight. Is that you or me?
That was me.
See, look, we're all professional here. Nothing interrupts the show. Oh dear. Right. So who we got in the chat to start with? Oh, there's somebody called She Digs It. I've never heard of her. I might have to pop over and see her channel. Got Michigan Gems, Digging with Deej. Hi Deej, thanks for coming in. I apologise for us starting a little bit late. Dirt Diggers UK had a premiere, which I was watching in between setting this up, and I didn't want to overrun his premiere. We're good friends. We don't do that sort of stuff. The detecting show with Johnny, heavy metal detective. Thank you for popping in, mate. So what we did, this is going to be something new for me. Obviously, besides no Tezza tonight. This is going to be an hour segment. So we'll have guests on when I do my show every other week. And what we'll do is we'll do a bit of detecting chat with them. We'll go through some of the finds that they find, let them talk about how they got into it and etc. And then what we'll do is we're going to be cutting the show off at 9 o'clock. And then what we do is we head over to the main show, which is like the after 9 naughtiness, where we have our usual last drinks and stuff like that. But I just wanted to try something a little bit different, be a little bit more sensible for the first hour, and we'll see how it goes. So what we'll do is we'll bring in our guests for tonight. So if you look at the top of the chat, there should be the Soil Sisters YouTube channel link pinned. So if you're not subscribed, please do pop over and see them. They've got some great video content, and we'll bring them in. So first of all, we'll bring in Nikki. Hello, Nikki.
Hello. You okay there?
Nikki.
And what we'll do, we'll bring in your partner in crime, Sam.
Hi, you okay?
Hi, Sam. All right. You're not stood out in the cold tonight now, then?
No. I've locked the door so the kids can't get in.
Sounds like a good plan.
Right. Well, I've got no idea how it's going to go tonight because this is the first time I've tried to do anything semi-professional. So Nikki was sent a copy of some of the questions that we're likely to ask, and hopefully, did you forward them on, Nikki?
Yes, I did. We had a very good laugh over the last question.
Right. So what we'll do is obviously. You understand, we got no Tezza in tonight because he's got man flu. So that's why I brought in Roseanne from She Digs It. Happy swinging.
And I haven't seen any of the questions, so.
All right, okay. Well, I think maybe you should answer them as well.
I thought I was going to be doing this on me, and I thought, well, hang on, I'll message Roseanne and see if she wants to come and do the show as well. And thankfully, she said she would. Right. Okay, so let's just get straight into it then, shall we?
We're all like, what's going to be said? What's going to be asked?
Right, so the first question is, how long have you been detecting?
Nick?
I suppose I started about 2017. Well, properly. I mean, years before that, as a teenager, my dad bought me a very, very cheap from the supermarket kind of thing. But no, properly about 2017, I'd say.
2017.
Yeah.
No, I'm not very good with my maths, so I've got to work this out on. That's 5 years then.
Yeah, I'd say
okay,
that.
Gold
star.
Yeah, so mine's about 8 years. So my dad, he started metal detecting first, and I was like, that's so geeky. Like, yous are so sad. I used to rip them for it. And then I was out with my sister one day and borrowed her Garrett 150 and found my first ever silver Roman coin. I've not found one since, and then I was just hooked ever since then. So,
see, I was pretty much the same. I'd go over and visit my dad, and then I get there and he wasn't in. So, well, where is he? Well, he's gone at detecting and be back about 5. So I wait for him to come back, and he come in with his pot. Oh, this wallet found and all that, and I just thought, you sad sod. Why do you want to see what you're doing? Walking around in the field And it was by off chance that I borrowed his Maplin special, and it piqued my interest, and that's what got me into detecting. So, any detecting,
it's really addictive.
It really is. I'd be out every day if I could, but I've got this little thing called work that gets in the way.
Yeah, it gets in the way,
we
doesn't
say
it?
that.
And just out of the question, Roseanne, how long have you been detecting?
The first lockdown, so 2 years.
About the same time as me, then.
Not long then, you two.
No.
Not long.
I didn't realise that.
So I started on the simplex and then moved over to the Knox. I think you guys, did you not do the same?
I had the simplex after I had the 150, then the 250, then the simplex.
And she loved the simplex. She loved the simplex, and then she just copied me.
And I found it really, really hard to actually go for the Knox. And when I had the Knox, I was really unhappy with it. The simplex is simple as it is, and I really loved it. But I was worried when I was out of Nikki. She seemed to find lots of silver, and I wasn't finding it. And I thought, is it because she's got a Knox? I questioned it every time we went out. So I thought, to be equal, I had to have the same machine. And now I find more silver than Nikki does. So it worked out quite well.
Yeah, you do.
Well, that's a bit like me and Roseanne as well. I started on the simplex. I saved up to get it. It was one of the new technology coming out, and I used it for about 12 years. And there you go. See some of the comments I got. You got Rob Random. I'm here just to put Jason off. He'll do anything to try and put me off. Rob Random will. Yeah, it ain't happening, mate. I'm gonna smash this tonight. So I saved up for the simplex, and I think I found about 5 silvers with it, which weren't bad. And then going out with my dad, and he was using the Equinox 800, and I just loved the tones. So I thought, well, that's the machine I want. So I saved up for it, and it's taken about 12 months to sort of like start really getting the hang of it. But I still got more hours to go on it before I really know what I'm doing. Right. So how did you get into detecting?
Well, I've answered mine, yeah. So it just my family being in. So my dad detected as well, my sister and my brother-in-law, and so I just latched on. Basically, it was either I go out with them or I don't get to go out and spend time with them. So I just started going out with them, and just got hooked.
So you were forced into it then, really, and then got
forced into it, and now none of them detect. Funnily enough, and just I do, and nobody will come out with me.
That's how she's met me.
That's how I met Nikki.
Yeah. I was just really into history. Loved Time Team, loved Sir Tony Robinson. Just really wanted to find my own bit of treasure, just a bit of history, just to hold something in my hand to think that's been dropped however many hundreds of years ago. The last person to hold that, and I found that. I wanted that aspect of it. So. Yeah, as I said, as a teenager, I had a cheap detector, and then about 2017, my first detector, I bought the Fisher 19. I was tempted by the Knox at the time, but I went for the Fisher. I thought it was a bit pricey. And what I didn't realise was that it didn't detect beach. It wasn't very good on the beach, apparently. And when I did try it wasn't great. So that was why I eventually upgraded to the Knox.
I took the simplex down onto one beach, and it was a bit chattery on the wet sand, but not every beach is the same. Some of the people in the chat will state that they've used it on the beach and they haven't had any problems with it. I guess it's all just down to the type of sand and type of mineralization.
I mean, that's the simplex, isn't it? And Sam, you've had good use with your simplex on the beach, but the Fisher F19 for me just didn't seem great, using that on the sand. So that was the only reason why I'd switched.
I'm glad you corrected him, Nikki, because he obviously wasn't listening.
No, typical man.
I'm trying to watch this, listen, and watch the chat, and I'm making sure I don't click on some of the wrong comments from Rob Random by mistake.
Yeah, so I would say with the simplex, obviously it's really simple, and what I like about it is I found it was as good on the beach as pasture and whatnot, and I found it really good. Yeah. And where I found my gold coin, it was amazing on there, not chatty whatsoever on that field. And when I got the Knox, I thought, I'm really going to smash that field now. What's going to come out of that? Now I've done it so well with the simplex, and no more signals. And the Knox is so chatty on there that I can't use it on that permission at all. It's really disappointing, but there we go. the simplex was better there.
Do you ever brag much about the gold coin?
Nick, I don't, do I?
Doesn't ever face often, no.
I really don't, because do you know what? I did work hard for it, because at the time I was doing like 6-hour sessions a day. It was in lockdown, so wasn't working, and the kids weren't in school and stuff, so it was like feral life. We could do what we wanted, and I was detecting 6 hours a day, and it paid off. I did it methodically, and it came out. But then I haven't been detecting that long, and people say they've been detecting 20, 30 years, and they haven't found it like that, and then you do feel like a bit of a cheat, or
I felt guilty when I found my first hammered. It was worn down and looked like a 20p. And no Rob random, it wasn't a 20p. It was actually a hammered. But it was literally within, I think, a couple of months of me having the simplex. And, it was just, I was so elated to find one. But then you get that feeling that you've got other people that have been searching for years and years and never, like Detector Kev. He's been detecting for about 12 years, I think. He's never found a hammered yet. It's top of his bucket list.
But also, I think, like, I found my first hammered coin with the simplex as well, but that sounded like crap. So that was just a whim. That it was my last hole, and I hadn't had very many signals, so I went for it. And it was along the hedge where there's like loads of beer cans and bottle tops, and it sounded just like a pull tab. But what I would say is, with social media, we're seeing people find hammers on the digs. They're so important. Who's had a first hammered? But there's so much more better things to find than a hammered coin. It's like
not
just
if you haven't found one.
Well, in 500 years, it'll be like finding a pound coin, won't it? But like I love finding stuff that I did research on it. I can find out who made it, what it was used for, what place it came from, originated from, stuff like that. Like we love finding artifacts, don't we, Nikki? And I love military stuff as well. A part of time it's really important to our country. I love finding military stuff, and I love finding money. Like I found dollars that would have been from World War II time when they were training here, the US soldiers. I love finding stuff like that. Them wages for risking their life have been really important to them, and I love having that in my pocket.
I'm a bit of a coin boy. If I can find a coin, it'll make the hunt worthwhile. But
Nikki she's like, Nikki always comes out for more coins than I do.
Not always. No, not always. You might get like the silvers.
Pod full.
Yeah.
But then what I do is, because Nikki's like one of them losers that has a proper job, and she has to be on a certain day. I'm self-employed, so I get to do what I want. So to annoy her, I was about to swear then. To annoy her, to get my own back, I just sneak off during the week, and then I'll send her videos while she's at work of the scenery and
just to wind me up. And like my job as well, I have no windows, so like it's like two sides of the coin. So when I'm in work, I am like completely enclosed, no windows, and she's sending me these videos outside with the sunshine digging. That's all I want to be.
It's worse when you get videos and photographs come through on your messenger when people that you go and dig with, and they're sending you stuff that they've been digging up. And I'm thinking, and I can't get out today because my boy don't want to go detecting. So I'm stuck at home with him, and I'm getting pics of these like little cut halves coming out, or maybe these fibulas. And then the next time I go out with them on the same field, I'm not digging the same stuff.
I know we've just recently been out with Nobles for the first time, and we were watching their digs every week, and they're doing really well. And me and Nikki had it all set right. We're having this weekend off work, and we had it all planned. We went down the camper van. Thought it was going to be epic. This is her time to find Roman. She's not found Roman yet. And it was so promising, and nothing came out. It was like the worst dig they've ever had. That's our luck.
Right, so we know what machine you use, because you both use the Equinox. Although, Nikki, you use the 800 and Sam, you use the 600, is it?
No, I use the 800 as well.
I thought you upgraded to the 600. Sorry,
I couldn't allow Nikki to have a better detector than me. Just couldn't allow it to happen, you know what I mean? Just couldn't allow it.
That just couldn't be the excuse.
Competition.
Oh, we are so competitive. We are. In a good way.
When the Deus 2 came out, I was watching like, you better not. Like, I can't afford another upgrade.
You wouldn't, would you, Nikki?
Do you know what? She doesn't realise this.
I'd have to go out selling myself.
I was tempted, and I did have a conversation actually with Marcus from Notch to 11. We were talking about.
Didn't tell me that.
I know, I didn't, but I'm not.
No.
I'm going to be faithful. I'm staying man. I'm faithful.
The thing is, I genuinely think like these machines are good that keep like coming out, but until you learn your machine, you're not getting the full usage out of it anyway. Like I don't know the Knox at all. Do you know what I mean? I was call Nikki over, come and go over this for me because I'm still learning it. And there's so many settings and programs out there, you know, that you can't possibly know the machine and know it's what it can fully do.
I tend to stick with one that works for me.
Sam, we need to get to metal detecting in Lincolnshire. Loads of Romans here. Get sick of finding them. Can't find one.
He loves to brag. Right, so we know what
low
machine you
numbers
use.
for a Roman.
What is your preferred coil to use?
I do have the 15-inch, and I'll be honest, when I use the 15-inch, I just find it makes it quite nose heavy. I don't know, I struggle. I end up swapping arms a lot more, and so I'm quite happy, you know, using the standard 11-inch coil that the Knox came with.
So you prefer smaller to bigger?
Yeah, I just find that the bigger one, I found it when I was using it, I found it really nose heavy. I did find it quite difficult when targeting some of the coins that, you know, the hole I dig where it should be ends up being like over here. You know, it was just ridiculous. That today.
I struggled with the 15 by 10 today. Really did.
Yeah.
Listen, I've seen her holes now. Don't give her any bigger.
Well, I was only using the big cord today because my dad, he literally dug a hole. He went to pick the Knox up to find the target, and the stem just come away from the coil. And he was so gutted he never had any spare coils with him. So I let him have my stock coil, and I went on to Big Bertha, and there was just so much iron in that ground. It was hard isolating the good tones. And yet you've got my nephew who was literally a couple of runs over. He always uses that big coil and dug up 4 Romans today. And it's just, I just haven't done enough time with it to really appreciate the coil. Yeah. So I prefer the stock one. And if I'm going out and really trashy land, then I'll try the 6-inch coil.
Yeah, see, I've not tried that.
What do you prefer, Roseanne?
I tend to use the standard coil, but I get the little coil comes out if there's stubble. And then I can go in between the stubble.
What
stubble.
Which kind of stubble? Not wheat or stuff like that. Not the stuff you can snap off with your feet, surely.
It's the stubble.
What, rapeseed oil stubble? Stalks?
Yeah.
Or maize?
I don't know what it was before it was cut. It's just stubble.
We don't know the difference either, but let me tell you, it's hell. Me and Nikki don't quit sesh, but when we were on that stubble, like I could have launched my detector, yeah?
Yeah.
Every time it hits it, beep, and oh my God, it's exhausting. Yeah. Especially when it's been a dry summer, you know, and they're really hard when it's been a dry summer, aren't they?
Yeah, so I'd rather get the little coil out and go in between it all.
See, I don't tend to stick. If I got the simplex set and dusted it off, I would probably take that out in a maize field. I haven't got to worry about whacking the coil on them. You know, that coil is bomb-proof with the thickness of the lugs on the coil.
Yeah.
But with the Knox, I'm always that little apprehensive, and I probably would use 6. But if it's like wheat or barley stubble, it's just swing the stock coil through it. It'll snap it off, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so exhausting to have to do that, though, isn't it? Like on your arm.
Big arms.
We're just weakens.
Got to get out more often in the day. Build them muscles up. Yes. Right. So what are your thoughts on your Equinox?
I love it. I do love it. And that's why I suppose I haven't been tempted by the Deus 2, which Sam will be glad to know. But yeah, no, I do. I love the machine. I still kept my Fisher 19 in the background as a just in case anything ever happens. But I always thought I would use it, and I've never used it again since.
See, I really love the Simplex, but when I've had it as a spare, let's say if I'm camping, I take it out, or I've been out with my dad and then he's tried to use it and he said, like, set it up for me, like, I don't even know how to use it, like, it's so bizarre. Like,
and you had it for years and you can't remember now.
I had it years and I loved it, and I could, when I had the Simplex, I took my dad out once and I was like, right, I bet you now this is in 1982 whatever, and I told him what monarch it would be, and now I don't even know what sensitivity to put on. I literally don't know how to use it. It's insane. But I did feel like the simplex, you could guess the coin that was coming out by the sound.
Do you know, I'm much the same, Sam. I've still got my simplex, and a friend of mine came out with me, and I was like, oh my God, I've forgotten how to use it. It was like,
and it makes you sad, yeah?
Yeah.
It's like that best friend you had in school, and now you don't speak, you cross each other's paths in the supermarket, and you barely say hi to each other, yeah?
Yeah.
So I don't think I could go back to the simplex unless I upgraded to a lower carbon fiber stem. That wobble on it is just, I didn't really notice it until after I took it to Detectable, and I thought, well, get it out and have a little, play on the grass and all that, and the head was swinging like that, and I thought, oh, I just put it back in the boot. I'm not using that. Right, so Sam, you said earlier what your first machine was.
The Garrett 150.
Yeah, and how did you get on with it?
I really liked it. I felt the Garrett 250, you better have gone straight to a simplex. It's not much difference. I just love the simplex.
And Sam, Nikki, what was your first machine?
Fisher 19.
Fisher 19.
Yeah, the F19.
Right. And what were your thoughts on that Fisher 19?
It was really light. That's the one thing in comparison with the Nox now. It was really light, and the funny thing is, when I picked it to move it the other day, it felt almost like a toy. It was that light. But no, it was a good machine. But I just feel like I've found an awful lot more since I've had the Nox. I'm just like, I can differentiate between closer targets, and I didn't sort of have that really with that. The machine, but as I say, I've kept it. I've got it there in the background just in case. You never know.
Dust it off, take it on a dig with you just in case something happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I also think, just to add, sorry,
with
the simplex, obviously, because it's like a beginner's machine, what most beginners people suggest. They're beginners, so they're not detecting as like what we would a few years in. They're detecting differently, so people will look like they're not finding as much, but it's to do with the knowledge, not the machine, I would say. Nikki doesn't detect methodically, and then she whinges nothing in the field. She just sort of like skips through it like a little lamb, and she's like,
I follow my coil. I follow the coil.
Should we leave you two to have a little bit of a cat fight? Right then, if money was no issue, what machine would you buy?
I think we would buy someone to dig our holes for us, wouldn't we, Nikki?
Yeah, that would be quite nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be quite a good idea if money was no object. We wouldn't need to change the machine. We could just buy our own personal hole diggers.
I think we'd have one of them ones. Would we have one of them ones like on Oak Island where they just like push it over the field and you find the
like a giant oscillator.
Yeah.
So you really wouldn't change your machine then, even if money was no object then?
I mean, like obviously people say like the CTX, etc. But I mean, I don't know. It's a heavier machine again. To me, it's been out a long time now, hasn't it? Surely that must be due an upgrade coming at some point. I don't know. The Deus 2 is now out there, but I feel everything that the Deus does, we've already got that with the Nox 800. So to me, it wouldn't justify that upgrade.
It's not changing.
No, and I
can't afford to change. She's not changing.
That's the one thing I like. It's sleek, it collapses. It has got that wow factor, but I can't justify that price. To be honest, it's a lot for what it does.
Would you swap to the Legend, Sam? Seeing as it's practically it's built. It is the simplex in the housing, isn't it? And
I would be tempted to have both, but it took me so long to learn the Nox. I'm not sure. But like I say about the knowledge thing, you can come along with a detector that can go bloody, 500 meters down, but you can still have a hammered coin 2 inches down on the turf, so it doesn't really matter about depth. And then as for what can it tell me that's there, if you're telling me what's there, it takes the fun out of it. So I want to have a bit of guess there. I want to wonder what it is. I want to dig that bullet thinking it's going to be a hammered coin. Do you know what I mean?
But then it's not always about the machine, is it, either?
If I knew it was going to be a hammered coin, there'd be no point in doing it, would there? If I knew what was there, I may as well go on eBay.
So even with the frustration of being a semi-good target, you dig it up and
the frustration. I think the frustration is like, it's weird, yeah. It's like so bad but so good feeling, because the frustration, and eventually when you get it, it's so worth it after all the junk. Yeah. But if you just found good stuff all the time, it wouldn't be as fun and exciting, would it?
Nope. Even though today was
so lucky for us, we find loads of junk.
Your good days, I know that. Well, this will probably be in one of the photos that we'll run through later. But what is your best find?
My best find's got to be my gold coin, but it's not my favourite find.
See, that's why I got a best and I got a favourite question. You see,
yeah, that's what people would say is the best find.
Yeah.
Or probably my Roman coin probably is quite more rare than that. Maybe, I'm not sure. It's quite good condition, good detail and stuff. And for North Wales, quite rare to find a nice Roman coin like that, I suppose. Nikki?
I suppose it was the Edward penny that we found together. That was my
big hammy. Was
it? No, the Eddie. That's one. I'd say that was the best because it's the oldest and it was in quite good condition. Really, what was that, like 1297 Edward first?
Yeah.
Long cross penny. But no, I think my favourite is that was the Henry VI silver groat, wasn't it? Just because the detail and it hadn't been clipped. It just looked like it had fallen in the ground the day it had been minted.
Yeah, when they're crispy.
Yeah, it's just lovely, beautiful. And I haven't got that. That's with the museum at the minute in Wrexham. So yeah, I'm waiting to get that back.
Stop going on about this.
They've had it from there.
She wants the fame, but she doesn't want them to have it.
Don't blame you, Nikki.
It's so beautiful. What about, I can't remember what it looks like now.
What about you guys then? What's your best find?
Go on, Roseanne, because you're a lady and you're co-host. I'll let you answer that one.
I think my best was the German cat badge.
That's nice.
That I thought that was going to be a piece of scrap, you know, and then when I unfolded it and it was worst find is tin all the time, trash.
Well, no, me and Nikki, right, we've got a permission right next to a castle and apparently it's not been done, which I believe it's not been done. We found plenty of musket balls in 1700 and whatnot there, but we're finding hundreds of pieces of, I'm not even sure what they are, like they've got lettering on them. I don't know if it's to do with a typewriter or I'm not sure what it is, but there's hundreds of pieces of it and it sounds so good. It sounds just like bronze, like a
bizarre, isn't it?
A buckle, and it sounds so good and there's just hundreds of pieces of it, but we've almost worked out what it says because we found so many. Real on it.
We'll get one of Rob Random's questions out of the way because otherwise she's just going to bombard the chat. So I do apologise for this.
Oh God!
Have you ever had to dig a hole to take a dump while out detecting? I haven't.
But I'm going to drop Nikki in it.
Well, right? No, because that wasn't when we were out detecting. We were out detecting the next day, but we were out camping the night before, and like I just couldn't share the toilet. So yeah, I did take
camping in my camper van, and she wouldn't use my toilet.
She wouldn't use my
toilet, right? She wouldn't use my toilet.
That was for number two. Number one, I would.
She wouldn't use my toilet, which I would never have known had she not made an issue about it. But she'll go out and inform me she's doing it with her spade.
Well, it was a bit obvious when I was walking with the spade and the toilet roll attached to the end, you know, so I just thought, this is obvious, so I better just highlight what I'm doing.
In case I think you're going to bury a dead body.
Right, but my best find has to be my Charles I hammered shilling, and it was literally it wasn't even 2 inches below the surface of the grass. I flipped over the plug and I couldn't find it anywhere. I was just rummaging around and it was literally that far below the surface, which was unbelievable.
Insane.
But my favorite find happened a couple of weeks ago, which turned out to be what they call a Condor Token, which was like a halfpenny token from my old hometown. And you loved that one, didn't you, Roseanne?
That's cool.
That little token.
Very cool.
with a lot of an inscription all spiraling all the way through to the middle. And just to have something that's from my old hometown is that'll go down and as one of my favorite finds for a long time. Right.
Yeah. Your face when you discovered what it was the picture.
That's it. Everything is. And if you'd have seen my face in the field, it was like, oh wow, I found another. Just to find a coin is always the same with my face. And I thought it was a crabapple tree or something with a spade, but it was a shield on it. And I mean, Dad said, oh, I've had a couple of those, but nothing as good as that.
It's always nice to outdo the parents, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll never outdo him. He digs everything. He's got a lot of stuff to show. He has. What is your strangest find?
Nikki's has got to be the River Island boxes she found the other day outside of Castle.
The what? Which one?
River Island boxes.
Oh, yeah. See, I forget about these things. Yeah, I found somebody's River Island boxer shorts. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Boxers?
Okay.
They weren't. Nikki's just disposing of them so her husband didn't find them.
What about yours, Sam?
I don't know, really. I wouldn't really say it's finding things, but like finding funny things, like nature things, like stumbling across like baby pheasants in a nest, or like when the farmer's lambs decides to run and you end up hatching to become a farmer for the day and getting them back in and whatnot. They're really naughty, aren't they, and stuff like that. I wouldn't really say I found anything really too weird. Would you, Nikki, know?
I think, well, I tell you what we did find that was weird, I found was there was that token that time. Found that lead token.
With a duck on it.
Well, no, it was a chicken head. It was a chicken head. And then someone said to me, oh, I think it's from that Victorian game, isn't it? From Cockshy. And I Googled it and I couldn't unsee a lot of what
trying not to laugh.
A lot of what came up initially, that was a bit shocking. But anyway, I found what the guy meant eventually, and it was an old 1700s game that children would play, and they'd use it as a target, with like sort of musket balls so that was interesting, weird, strange find. Really, that's the only one I can think of, other than the boxer shorts.
They definitely weren't Rob Randoms, he said. What is your preferred ground to detect on?
Oh, definitely pasture. I think we both prefer pasture, nice pasture fields, don't we?
I would always say ploughed. I'm obsessed with ploughed because I think, so much good stuff gets brought up, but also the good stuff can get pushed down. But our best ever permission was pasture, and it was just so lush.
Yeah.
Like,
we still get stuff now. Yeah, we still get nice bits of it now.
It just sounds so good. It's easy to pinpoint, and it just seems to be a turn over. It's there.
Yeah,
you're not searching for it because the ground's quite hard.
I've always dug on arable, and mainly because I always tried to save the pasture for winter when you had fields that have been sowed and they're planted.
We're not intelligent enough to do that, are we, Nick?
And then the pasture that I found that Charles I hammered on, literally I went there the following week to go and he ploughed it under and already drilled it, and so I've lost that until later on in the year now before I can get back on there. But
I would say as well with pasture, obviously it's going to be better condition as well. Usually,
as long as the grass is quite short.
Yeah, like I had a few coins off a ploughed field, and they just all of them had a bashing in.
Oh, from the plough.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, and you don't find buckles all intact and stuff. My best ever buckle intact came off the pasture I was at with Nick.
It's surprising how far they get pushed down, isn't it?
Crazy. And also, somebody said to me once that things can get moved like 100 meters, and I was like, I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. And then I found a piece of a buckle. Literally, the field used to be like a few fields, and now it's all in one, so it's a huge field. And I found half the buckle right at one end and the other half right at the other end. So then I'm like, okay, it can get moved about. So you're not necessarily looking for the footpaths on the pasture field. It's anywhere. It can be anywhere.
Question from Mark, metal detecting Lincolnshire. Have you got a bucket lister?
I'll answer Nikki's and Nikki can answer mine. Nikki's is a lead ampula.
hold on, that's like really bad now. I'm like, oh my God, what's yours? Yeah, that is mine. That is mine. But I'm like, what's yours? I feel really bad.
You don't know?
No, I can't think. There's so many things that we always want to find.
Yeah, so I don't really. She likes funny stuff. I don't really harp her on stuff, but I keep an open mind. I'm grateful for anything these days, but I really like purse bars. I think they're really nice when they come up. They come up, but I've got no chance to find them in North Wales. That's why we're trying to venture out on digs to find some better bits. But neither of us have had a fibula before,
no.
or anything like that.
My first part of one last weekend. It's going to be out in the video that I've got saved up.
So the question is, finding part of one, is that better or worse than not finding one?
I'll take that any day. I really
would.
It. I'll take that.
Would you take it, Nick? Nick, would you take a broken ampula, or would you be peed off?
I would be. I'd be happy.
She's such a whinge bag. She would find it and be happy, and then 2 minutes later she'd be like, "Oh, but this, but that," and find all the imperfections on it.
I'm not that
bad. All right. So obviously, I think you said a little bit about it earlier. Have you done beach detecting?
I've tried a few times, but I just find it really frustrating. So many ring pulls and bits of foil from people's picnics, and so I've tried a few times, but that's usually when I've been away camping and we've been close to a beach, and I've checked the coastlines to make sure I can detect there, but I've never had much success. But Sam, you've had more success, haven't you, really, on the beaches near you?
I would say with the Knox, I find it very difficult. I feel like the numbers are bizarre, and because I'm an amateur of the Knox, I do look at the numbers still, not the tones, and I feel like the numbers are bizarre on the beach. I don't know if you use and I don't really know the right program to use, but I found some really nice Victorian stuff and badges and hat pins and stuff there. I wouldn't really normally find normal detecting, so I do think it's nice for a change. When you're out with the kids, it's nice and relaxing for them to get in with you, but it can be frustrating. And fishing weights, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
the beach I go on to every year is basically you got to go down a steep sand dune to get to it. There's nothing around it that people spend money on. Any money that they drop out of their trousers will be from the parking meter at the top of the hill, and then there's a little mobile snack van. So you get down there, so there's not exactly a lot of drinks being brought down with bottle caps and stuff like that. So it's one of the better beaches that I've actually had to go on. But if I for a week, if I can get about 14 quid, it goes in towards the into the pot for something else that I'm going to save up for.
Diesel to run you around or whatever. Yeah, I think that also. I definitely do it after storms and bad weather. I think it's definitely worth doing, but I wouldn't do it like weekly basis. But also, like knowing your beach and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not interested in going to Blackpool Beach and finding a load of modern coins. Like, I would lose my patience with it. But in North Wales, there's a lot of Victorian beaches, so we're really lucky. And so there's one couple of minutes from me, and I go there and just follow the tide out, and I've found a lot of coins. And literally, the tide comes the next day and brings you a load more. Brilliant.
I just think it's a bit of it mixes it up a little bit. That's all I think about it.
Yeah,
have a little break from the inland.
Have you ever seen them big fisherman weights that have got like round circles on them? Have you ever seen them?
Yeah,
they'll blow your head off if you find one.
Yeah,
well, I found one the other day, and I was like with my dad, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe what is this? It looked like medieval." And he's like, "That's a fishing weight." I was like,
"Crab weight or something? Crab net weight, is it?"
Yeah, but I mean, they look like some like the used.
It looked like a medieval pendant, didn't it?
Yeah, they're vicious. Yeah, I was like, "What the hell is this?" I was so excited, but it's not. It was crap. So there we go.
Right, okay, so what 5 things are on your bucket list?
Oh, well, obviously mine's definitely an ampular, fibula. I would like
to
find
a list. Long list.
No, not a long list. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, those sorts of things. Anything gold would be nice, and not just a gold shiny bit of tin foil, just like an actual
accent you're after as well.
Oh, I'd love an actor. That would be nice. It would be nice. There you go. That's my 5 then. Yeah.
So I'm just not really that fussy. I haven't got that many. Definitely, I'm going to sound. I say I'm not that fussy, and I'm going to say so. I like a Henry coin. Them hammered, they're nice. And obviously the Persephone. There's nothing really else I'm after. I love 1700 coins, and I would love to just keep finding them. Yeah.
What about you, Roseanne?
I'm a bit strange, and I really like 1700 coins. Yeah, I don't know why.
Just 5 good finds in a dig. That'd be great.
Per dig.
Anything.
We're like, I got like lifetime finds. You're like per dig.
I don't set my standards too high, so
no.
I
nor do I. I'm never disappointed.
top of my bucket list is a cartwheel penny. I would love to find a cartwheel penny.
Have you not found a cartwheel penny?
No.
Have you not, Jace? No.
Last year, I think it was last year. It was just after I got sponsored by Unearthed. I went out to with my dad, brother, and nephew, and we were out there. And I'll tell you what, it was one of the better days I had because I literally filled up my finds pod, and literally I must have missed it by about 5 yards, if that. My brother was detecting next to me, and I was down on the floor, and I got this. I think it was a Vicky Penny come up, and he said, "Oh, not another one." I went, "What?" He said, "Oh, just a bloody cartwheel." I went, "What?" And he come over, and I held it in my hand, and it almost took my breath away. It was in beautiful condition. I could have cried. I really could have cried. I was that far away from finding one. So
we've never found one in good condition, though. That's the only thing. They're never in good condition.
Me and Nikki both found one, didn't we, on the last dig we went out together?
Yeah,
we both found one along the same. Well, what I do is Nikki always goes to paths, and then when I know she's finding stuff, I just go in front of her and take over. So
I saw your last video.
Yeah, she's right, sneaky though. I look around and I think she's going somewhere. She takes over my little spot.
Well, Nikki always stops for brews, and I don't stop. I'm like, no, I'm going. I can't afford to stop, and so then I'll just go where she was going to go. But yeah, we find quite a lot of cartwheel pennies. We find quite a lot of cartwheel pennies, I would say, and I didn't till quite recently. And I would say to people that haven't found one is, I think I wasn't ever digging that signal because they sound like crap. And they sound so big, they sound junky, and I think you're dismissing it and you're not going to do that one. And then sometimes when you're getting to the end of hammering a permission, you might think you get desperate and then you end up digging that. And I think I did that once, and then I was like, now I dig that signal every time. Now I know that signal, and I find it quite a lot. Same with
had you found one with the simplex though? Had you found a cartwheel?
I think I had, but as well with the Knox, I find more silver because once I found a silver on accident, and it was like high in the 20s. It sounded really trashy, and I was just desperate and dug it, and I was like, "Whoa, that's how you find silver coin." I'd never found one before that, and now I always dig them signals. Although you might find some trash, I come up with loads of silver, as Nick will tell you.
So you found a cartwheel with the Knox, yeah?
Yeah.
And what I know people say don't go by the VDI, go by the tones and all that, but you still use the VDI as a gauge. So what was it coming up on the Knox on the VDI?
I would say it's like it can be low 30s to high 30s. It can jump down to high 20s and then go back up. It's quite skitty.
It can be like 27 to 33, I'd say.
I've dug fairly far.
And it will jump, and it will jump as well, which I think that's what puts people off because usually people say whatever the number, if it's stable, dig it. It does jump. I find with the cartwheel.
Yeah, well, it has done for hours.
Right. What is your choice of lunch when you go out detecting?
Nikki's is always an overpriced sandwich or wrap from the local shop. And mine's whatever was left in my kid's bag.
Sorry, Sam. Richard Kennedy, if you go up to the top of the chat, there should be a pinned link to the Soul Sisters channel. If not, can one of the mods put their channel in the chat, please? Thank you all. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, so Nikki always has an overpriced sandwich from her local shop, which is a rip-off. And she has to have that. She says she gets cranky. And I just find whatever.
Hungry.
Car or...
between angry and hungry. Yeah, I can't do it being hungry.
No.
What do you take out, Roseanne? Homemade sandwiches?
No, overpriced sandwich.
See, I'm lucky. If I go out and stop at my dad's on a Friday night so we can go out early and on Saturday.
You're hoping he's sorted it for you?
No, me stepmom does. Literally, I get up, I come down in the morning, and I got my kit, and she goes, "Your sandwiches are on there." And then when we come back,
is that to keep you out longer though?
Don't know. What might be for me dad, but no.
Method in the madness.
We come back from detecting, and we've always got a cooked meal. Today was pulled pork enrolled with chips.
Nikki gets a roast dinner every time she comes home.
That's only on a Sunday. If we go out detecting on a Sunday, like she'll always say to me, like, "Are you going back to a roast dinner?" And to be fair, my husband makes an amazing Sunday lunch. So yeah, always come back to her.
Right. No, really, she's quite horrific. So one of our permissions, Nikki buys the lambs off there. So we detect with them all summer.
I'm supporting.
And then she buys them for her Sunday dinner. So she's like, so we're like detecting with its grandchildren while she's eating them afterwards at home.
No, we like detecting. I'm like, oh, I can look at that with a bit of mint sauce on next week. You know, it drives me crazy because Sam's a vegetarian.
I want to go.
Oh, you're a vegetarian, Sam?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right,
Never mind. We won't hold that against you.
No, but even before that, I wouldn't have ate lamb. No, they're too cute.
They look better when they're on the block.
They're looked after where we go. They're really looked after. That eases Nikki's conscience, doesn't it, Nick?
Yeah.
They're very
Tasty.
organic there. And
my daughter's the same.
The owner
she won't
literally
eat lamb
sits with
because
them.
of that.
Yeah. Well,
She'll
they're
eat
really
anything
looked
else.
after.
She'll eat a steak, but she won't eat lamb.
No, it's really difficult because they're cute. But have you seen a baby pig? They're really cute too. And baby cows, they're really cute.
Better in a roll. Which detecting channel did you first watch?
Ooh, it's been quite a few actually.
I'm really crap with remembering names, but Nikki's a bit of a YouTube stalker. But
YouTube stalker. No, quite like West Country Clegg. We liked Dukes of Derbyshire.
Which is I don't really remember them, but
Cleggy, yeah.
The Bristol guy I used to watch.
Who? The Bristol guy.
A Bristolian accent, I think. I can't remember. The pesky buttons. He says that pesky buttons.
Yeah, that's Country Clegg. That's Cleggy.
Yeah, I don't remember people's names, but yeah, feel bad now. This is why I asked for the questions.
like obviously Liam's History Revisited. He's pretty cool, isn't he? And you quite like watching Notch to 11. Top Banana, Daz's.
Nikki's Top Banana's biggest fan.
Digger Devon, I can't even say it now. Devon Digger Daz. Yeah.
Right. If you could take a celebrity out detecting, who would you take and why?
Oh, see now this is like.
I think I could guess whose Nikki's would be.
No,
you
wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, you won't guess it.
Well, you're gonna do something really weird, like a proper random one now, like
the YouTube celebrity doesn't count. They're not
right, I think Nikki's would either be Bobby Dazzler.
No.
Or someone off the Detectorists.
No, I did think about this. No, do you know what? Even better. So if like we took somebody out with us, like from the A team, say Mr. T, yeah, we've got more chance of finding gold because like the amount he could drop just walking around next to us. Someone like Mr. T from the A team with all this gold jewellery. No.
Well, anyway, I've been thinking about this one, and I think Jeremy Clarkson because he might let me on his farm.
Who? Clarkson.
Jeremy Clarkson, he might let me on his farm. Yeah, I've been thinking about this one.
And then we could get like dig our holes, couldn't we? We could get Caleb, and that'd be quite cool.
Yeah, I've heard of people.
Somebody with a JCB would be handy, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But just think of the crap you'll be finding because he ain't going to look after his kit, is he? Bits are going to be breaking off left, right, and centre. Bits of ploughs. Right. So, how long do you detect for when you're out?
Oh, it depends, doesn't it, on what day of the week it is. So if it's a weekend and we've got no responsibilities, we're picking children up, like we'll go for the full day shift.
Shebang. 8 hours.
As long as we can get away with it.
There's no point getting your stuff up for 2 hours, is there? Come on.
No. I tried telling him.
Go hard or go home. I've been out till 2 a.m. before with my dad in hailstorms and all sorts. But the only thing I would say is, funnily enough, when I have the shortest amount of time, I seem to find the best stuff. Found my gold coin when my son was in nursery for an hour and a half, and I had to leave because I had to pick him up, but otherwise nobody would be there for him. And I was devastated leaving that field. I was like looking around like, is someone going to jump on and nick my field? So, and the same with my hammered coin. So, short bursts sometimes can be good because you don't waste your time. And when you know you've got all day, perhaps you take time to just stop for a lot of cups of tea. Yeah, Nikki.
Yeah, see, she takes a look at me. I've always got to have a flask of tea. Like I can't live without caffeine. I've just got to have my tea, and when I fancy a drink, and I like to just sort of kick back at times, like assess the land area, a picture where a market might have been, and think I'll go detect there a little bit, And
so we say we're there for 8 hours. You take out the cups of teas. Nikki's there for about 2. But we'll literally get out the car. We'll be setting up. I'll turn around to think what section she's doing. She stopped already for a brew. I'm like, we literally just got here.
So you're quite laid back, Nikki.
Yeah, I'm laid back.
You're like going at it hard.
Yeah, I call the boss. She's the boss. She's like, "What you doing?" Cracks the whip.
Yeah, get up. Let's go.
Which detector would you not use, even if you were paid to?
Oh, I don't know.
This is where the snobbery comes into it, and the different brands come in.
I'll be honest, like when we first started detecting together, and I could hear Sam's detector going without her wearing her headphones.
Like an angry chicken.
Yeah, the tones and the noises. I thought to myself, I just couldn't. So for me, I couldn't use a simplex. I don't think.
I think it's really noisy. When my dad was last using it, I was like, oh, it like really hurt my head listening to the chatter. But I don't remember it being that chatty when I used it. But I suppose I'm just used to the knocks, which is a lot quieter. I think that the simplex is like quietly noisy all the time. But when the knocks is noisy, it's like proper inappropriate. Like you can't detect with it when it interferes with an overhead. You just cannot. So we didn't really answer that, did we?
No. Do you research the land and then knock on the door for permissions?
No, we drive past fields and I go, Nikki, there, you need to go there. And she lives there. So I'm like, it's your job. Talk in Welsh, sweet talk them. Tell them you work in the hospital, you'll first aid them. It's fine. They'll go with you. But yeah, I find the best way to find permission is to find the biggest landowner, and then all the other landowners love them, and then you just use their names. So you'd be like, oh, I detect with whoever on whoever's farm. Like they'll vouch for me. I'm sound, and it's a domino effect, and you'll get more permissions that way.
Only a Noct user would ask a question like that. Oh, Tidy, you disappoint me, you Nocta user.
I'm really crap. I do not do much research, really. Me and Nikki are horrendous.
No. Sam before now was pulled over seeing a tractor in a field and jumped out of her car and waved.
Stop.
I bet it's easier being a lady than it is for a bloke doing that.
I definitely think that, but also as well, take a kid with you.
Yeah, I did that. I took my boy.
I took my 3-year-old, and they literally want to make you lunch and everything. Listen, they'll adopt you. It's fine. Take a kid with you. You'll get the permission. They don't want to see them cry. Pay the kid a quid. My kid can turn on the waterworks. It's fine. I'm like, he got it for his birthday. He wants to try it out. Nowhere to go.
Have you ever detected the wrong field, which wasn't your permission?
So we had a permission, and
but we still have the permission.
We still have the picture. Do you know when you get a permission and they'll say, "Oh, well, this land is mine," and then they just want you to memorize where the boundaries are, and all the brick walls look the same. And we did end up on a field that wasn't. It wasn't me. It was Nikki. And in the corner, she found like the best coin we'd found on that permission. Turns out later on, we've got permission on said land, so it's all fine. But Nikki has never been on land she shouldn't have, and she hates nighthawkers. So I just ripped her forevermore for it, and I hold it against her.
I just felt terrible when I realised after finding that, like, really, it was like, what was it, a 1700? I think it was like a George III.
She felt like she violated herself doing it.
I did. I felt horrendous. It's wrong.
And before that, she used to always say, "Have you seen that person who say nighthawk on some monument?" And I say, "Oh, like you did, you mean?"
Anyway, the point is, though, we have permission of that land as well now.
We now have permission of
all
it,
good.
so it's fine.
Cool beans.
So there's a question off Rob Random. When Nikki pinpoints in a hole, does her long, beautiful hair get muddy?
So that's
Listen, Nick does not allow herself to get muddy. She comes off the field. She looks like she's only been set there. I don't know how she does it. She does it so eloquently.
Yeah, you have to see. There's a video that we do where Sam, I turned around and looked at her, and I think she just put a whole face in the hole at some point. It was just like, she looked like she'd been at war, you know, with the stripes, everything going on. And I just thought, what has she been doing? I don't know. How do I stay so clean?
I'm just more hardcore than you, and I just feel like I just get down and do it, and I get on with it. I embrace it. I feel like if you just embrace it and you enjoy it more, you know. But if you're trying not to get muddy, like, how can you do that? I like it.
Like a bit of mud, like a bit of dirt.
Yeah, I like it.
Right, before we go into the quickfire fun questions, I'm going to share some of your photos if I can manage to not mess this up. Right, so.
Oh yeah, that's my.
Talk us through what we got here.
Yeah, that's my favourite. That's my Henry VI. It's a full growth, 1422. I think they're minted, aren't they, to 1427.
She's got this written down on the postboard behind her.
But no, that's my favourite. That one. Yeah, I'm waiting to get that one back. I've not seen that.
Apologies to the chat. I can't see the chat at the moment because I've got this other window in front of it. So that's the one side, and I always get it wrong about the coins. That this is the front, isn't it? The head. I always used to think the head was the back, and then I said, "Let's go and have a look on the back." And my dad would literally be practically slapping me around the head. No, that's the front, and that's the reverse.
Yeah,
stunning.
I think it's a Calais mint. I think from memory.
That one.
That one, I think that's one of mine, isn't it? That's the Elizabeth one. Mine. No, yours is a different. You've got the flower one, haven't you, on the back? Mine's got the
I haven't sent a picture in of mine. It's actually one of my favourite.
I could have submitted it. Okay. I can't remember. Yeah, that's the back of mine. Yours has got the date on it.
Yeah,
but yeah, shame no date with that one. Yeah, it is a nicer condition one. Oh, there you go. There's my good first penny, long cost penny. So yeah, that one's my oldest find. That's the oldest coin so far that I found.
That was so frustrating. So that one we found next to a castle, and the castle doesn't date back to that old. So it was a real surprise, and it was found right next to the castle, and about a meter away from me. I was really peed off about that one.
Yeah, we stood right next to each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
That bottom one looks like a bit of a love token, does it?
Token, yeah. Them coins I love. They're my favourite.
So this is quite funny. So we were out together one day, and like she said to me, "What have you found?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know, one of these silver discs again." And she's like, "What do you mean a silver disc?" And so I handed her it, and she's like, "That's a worn William whatever." And I said, "I found a few of these before," and it wasn't until I actually went back and looked.
She's been discarding them.
I've been discarding them, and I could actually then see the imprint of the bust. That's how bad my eyesight is. So yeah, I discarded them as like little tags, crap, and yeah, they were silver coins. My bad.
They're very worn. So
they are very worn, aren't they?
Yeah.
Also, like where we are, the soil's very acidic-y, so the coins don't last as well as when we've gone on digs in Shropshire and Shrewsbury, and they're in such good condition, you can hardly believe like it's real, because we're just so used to find cruddy coins or really worn coins because the soil's just so crap. Yeah.
See, there's your beauty there, Sam. Your gold guinea.
Beauty.
Very nice.
I felt I peaked too soon on that one. You know, you'd like to think you'd work till you detect till you're about 60 and then find one. And to find it so soon, you're like, what's there left to find? But stated would be nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
Not hoping for much. That we need to get down South England for one of those.
Yeah, I think
so. And that's what it was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't like to rub it in, but some people find a half guinea and a full is much nicer.
we just want to clear up for all the bands that they have together. They aren't actually sisters. You wouldn't think so, would you?
The half and the full is a bit like having the 600 to the 800.
Oh, what the coins are.
If I get rid of Rob Random's comment, there you go. You can actually see Sam there. Right, so that is a George III, isn't it?
Oh yeah. So I think that's a shilling. I think I found that one. I was really chuffed with that. Sam, you found a few of them since, haven't you?
Yeah, weirdly. Yeah, so that I would say that was a bucket listed for me before I found my first one recently. Near my second hammered coin. Yeah, I've always wanted one of them. They're so nice, and apparently they're quite rare because he didn't like his head on him, so they're very nice to find.
Yeah, when I found mine, I was like buzzing with that one.
They're really nice, yeah.
Oh, that was a nice find, Sam. That was your lead dog head. We found that on a dig.
Yeah,
that was
so
on
we were out
with Sovereign Dig.
Yeah, we were out on Sovereign Dig with that one with Charles, and I found it, and I uploaded. There's only really good thing I found, and I uploaded it to their page the same day. And one of their members' dog, Golden Labrador, had been put down that day, and they felt it was like a sign, so that got posted off to them.
Yeah,
and he's with their new owners now, so that's really nice.
And I think that's the last photo that was sent.
Oh, that was you, wasn't that?
Yeah, that was a bit random. That's like an Israeli cent or something or other like that. And I thought it was a gold coin when I first found it. And so that was a bit random in the Conway Valley to find that. I think it dated back to maybe like 1940 or something. It was quite modern, but just a bit random for someone from so far to be in Little North Wales. So
but you'd found that in like a hoard of so many musket balls. You were just like,
where I found that.
Kev said it's a shakal. I think that's
there you go. A shakal.
Yeah, I have done the research on it. I did have it written down, but I wasn't very prepared. But where I found it was on an embankment, and it literally had like 30 musket balls there. Really strange. So yeah, I don't know the story behind any of it, but the musket balls have been kept separately, so I know where it was found in case a battle ever comes out was there.
All right, so that's the last of the thing. So basically what we'll do is we'll go on to the quickfire questions before we end.
This is the scary part, yeah?
Yeah, this is the scary bit, yeah. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No, definite no.
Good
yes.
answer, good answer.
Wrong.
What was that, Roseanne?
Yes.
See you later. Lager or wine?
Wine. Red.
Wine.
I
don't even know the answer to that one. No.
Football or rugby?
Rugby. For the men.
Rugby.
Yeah.
Delete you all off in a minute. F1 or MotoGP?
F1. Definitely. Big Red Bull fan.
I don't even know the difference. Is MotoGP like normal cars?
Just say F1, Sam. F1.
No, because then I'll be supporting Rich. I'm not doing that.
No, MotoGP is bike racing.
Oh, yeah, I would say Formula 1 then. I used to love playing racing games when I was little. I'm not into motorbikes at all.
Fishing or golf?
Fishing. Fisherman's
I don't like killing things, so I'm going to have to say golf.
Rom-com or action films?
Documentary.
Documentary, yeah. Sorry, I'm
I'd
not
rather
really
a documentary.
And me.
Don't like action. Don't like rom-com.
Chinese or Indian?
Ooh.
Chinese.
Oh, see, I've got like a favourite from both. Just depends on what mood I'm in. So, Chinese, I suppose.
I would say Chinese is better because you can have a dip and dive, but you can't really have Indian, can you?
Dip and dive.
No.
You can have lots of sides and that with the Chinese.
And the last one, home cooked food or takeaway?
Home cooked.
Oh, if it's my husband's son.
Depends who's cooking it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was it. That was all the questions. So we're running a little bit over, but it's not a problem. The other one's scheduled for after here anyway. So, but that was great. It was good having you on. We got to know you a little bit and what you do for detecting and all that. And I think you
now everyone needs to go and like, subscribe, share.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can a mod please put their link in the chat? Because
Nikki said she was gonna. Nikki said she was going to ship off and have hammered coins covering her nipples to try and get us liked. She hasn't done it.
No, Nikki did not say that.
No, but Nikki did say this is really, really, really important. Okay, listen to this one. Okay, where we detect, there's a natural, what's it called? Natural, you say it, was it?
Nature reserve.
The pool, natural. No, there's a natural pool thing. And Nikki said in the summer, when it's dry, she's getting in a bikini with her pinpointer to detect it outside the chapel where we found the hammer coins. So if you like and subscribe, you will see that happen.
Oh dear me!
I'm already on it on all 5 accounts.
I was not prepared for those sorts of questions or answers. But the one thing that you do need to be aware of is that Sam can make merchandise.
Natural spring, that's the one.
No, I'm talking about you and your merchandise. So like our Soil Sisters clothing, the hats that we've got, things like that. Sam's got a business. She can make that sort of thing. Look at that. It needs washing. It's covered in mud. But
plug.
So drop us a line if any of you guys need anything like that, making mugs, etc.
for the hats?
Mates rates.
There we go, Sam. Mates rates.
I might be... I'll get paid for this month, and then
Jason can have the first one as a gift and give us a shout out and a link, and we can sort something out.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Brilliant. Well,
and Rosanna, of course, if you would like one.
Live. I just want to have a quick chat once we've ended the broadcast. So thanks for everyone for popping by. I hope you like this new style that I'm going to try and do. If you do like it, then I'm more open to trying more stuff like this and getting other guests on. So for my first proper guests doing an hour-long set, I'd like to thank the Soil Sisters for coming along.
Wow, I feel privileged to be the first. Yeah. And I was just talking to Nikki how I would love to listen and watch like a sort of like a podcasty thing to do metal detecting. So this is really cool, and I'll definitely be watching in the future.
And also thank you to Roseanne for coming along, although she's been a bit of a passenger. It's I just thought we'd bring her on. It wouldn't seem so intimidating having 2 blokes there asking you sort of like random questions. Yeah. But no, thanks for coming on, and hopefully it'll help your channel a little bit. So for anybody who's not subscribed to them, head over there and give them a sub. And also don't forget to click a like on their video and leave a comment.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Well, we'll say you goodbye now, and then if you head on over to the other stream that I've got set up, the link is coming in the chat now. We'll be over in a couple of minutes to carry on with what we normally do on a Saturday night. So thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next one. All right. Bye for now.
Thanks.
Bye.